These are individuals who put their lives on the line every day to make our communities just a little safer. Thank you. And we know that when Bronxites from all corners of the borough and from all walks of life come together to fight for what is right and what is just as one Bronx, we can do anything. In fact, in December, we proved that. We stood together and sent a strong message throughout the city of New York that we will no longer take a backseat when it came time to reap the rewards of our borough's economic development. And we defeated the proposed redevelopment of the Kingsbridge Armory. For too long, City Hall has embraced the mindset that what is good for developers is what is good for our 5 boroughs, with little regard for the real needs of the community. Planning, in my opinion, should drive development. Development should not determine our planning. Our land, our most important and valuable natural resource, has been taken from us through zoning and the sale of air rights. Development plans have been created with little or no input from the communities who will host these new projects. Developers have been handed millions of taxpayer dollars in subsidies, and in return, we have received part-time jobs without benefits that offer few, if any, chances for advancement. Now, listen to me carefully. For those of you who would distort my position by saying that I do not want to create jobs here in the Bronx, you are wrong. Nothing can be further from the truth. As I have said, the idea that any job is better than no job should no longer apply, specifically when developers take millions of dollars in taxpayer funding. Now let me repeat that. The idea that any job is better than no job should no longer apply, specifically when developers take millions of dollars in taxpayer funding. When New Yorkers are already struggling to pay their rents, when they must worry about feeding and clothing their children, when our poverty rates are the highest in the nation, we cannot accept that a minimum wage is the best salary a developer can offer while they take so heavily from taxpayers' wallets. In other words, if you want charity, then you must be charitable. If you want a public benefit, then your project must benefit the public. Now, do not misunderstand me. I welcome development, and I'm ready, willing, and able to work with every and anyone that wants to do business within our borders. Please come. But we must raise the standard of that development. We must stand up and demand that major projects that receive heavy taxpayer benefits offer more than poverty-level jobs. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, that we do better. The fight at the Kingsbridge Armory wasn't about preventing development, nor was it about focusing on the parochial concerns of a small corner of the city. What we stood for at the Armory was the right of all city residents to earn an honest living when developers take large taxpayer subsidies to make their projects work. Our call has been heard throughout the city, and I will lead the fight for better wages, not just for Bronxites, but for all New Yorkers. That's why I'm proud that 2 of my Bronx colleagues in government, City Council members Oliver Copel and the Dean of the Bronx delegation, Anabel Palma. Are they here today, Oliver? I'm proud that they have partnered with me to introduce a bill that will require builders who receive government funding for their projects to pay a living wage to the future employees of that development. In my conversations with leaders from across the city, I have found that this is a major priority, not just here in the Bronx, but in all 5 boroughs. This bill has already received significant support, and I am hopeful that it will become law during this coming year. I also don't want to see the Kingsbridge Armory remain empty. That is why today I am announcing the creation of a new task force, co-chaired by myself and Councilman Fernando Cabrera, that will examine the Armory and discuss ideas for its future use, such as manufacturing, recreation, and other innovative uses. This task force, whose members will be announced in the coming days, will help to shape a new RFP for this majestic building from the ground up. The community's voice will be heard. My administration has begun to lay out an aggressive agenda to create new jobs that offer Bronxites not just a chance to work, but a chance to provide. We are pushing for new jobs in the growing green economy, and we will make sure that Bronx residents are ready to take advantage of those opportunities. We are working together to make sure our schools are properly serving our students. And we are making every possible effort to ensure that our streets are safer.